So Spider-Man 4 is looking to be a multiverse film, a continuation of Spider-Man No Way Home. You guys, we got to talk about this. So Daniel RPK, a reliable inside scooper, has dropped some very interesting details about Spider-Man 4. Now, we're all wondering what's happening with Spider-Man 4, when is the release date, things of that nature, and the story-wise. The last time we heard that Kevin Feige and Tom Holland were pushing for a more grounded street-level Spider-Man film and not the whole multiverse thing. It seems like Sony is really trying to bank off this multiverse. I mean, they have their Miles Morales Into the Spider-Verse universe, with Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, Beyond the Spider-Verse, Multiverse Concept, Spider-Man No Way Home, Sony's highest grossing film of all time. So, of course, they see dollar signs. So it looks like Sony ended up winning, because if they're transitioning into Spider-Man 4 being a continuation of the multiverse saga, you guys, I have my concerns. And I'll be honest with you, I was looking forward to the grounded street-level Spider-Man films, because still to this day, my two favorite Spider-Man films are Spider-Man 1 and 2 with Sam Raimi. I mean, they are. It's just, they're so well thought out, the story, the heart, and all of that shit. And I love Spider-Man No Way Home. Spider-Man No Way Home was fantastic. Seeing Tobey, return, seeing Andrew Garfield return, seeing all the iconic villains return. It was massive. It was huge. It was fun to see. Never in my life did I ever think I would see Tobey Maguire play Spider-Man again, you guys. So, that was such a big surprise to me and a massive reveal. And it felt like a very heartfelt moment. And I loved it. It was awesome. But, I was hoping we would, jump back into the much smaller storytelling for Spider-Man. The smaller things. Because especially the way it kind of ended. You're dealing with Peter Parker, who is now emotionally unstable. And I do say that because he's gone through so much. He lost Tony. He lost Uncle Ben. He lost his Aunt May. Nobody knows who he is. He lost his girlfriend, his best friend. He's living on his own. He's broke. He's in New York. Inflation's high. He got no money. You know what I mean? So now he's going to have to literally survive on his own. He has no backbone. There is nothing there for him. So to dive deep into that aspect of an emotional aspect of somebody struggling financially, mentally, it's huge. There's so many relatable objects they could have took from that storyline and adapted for Spider-Man 4 instead of jumping into the multiverse thing again. I just feel like it's just Sony, like, yo, we need this. And obviously, you can put some blame on Marvel Studios, especially with the redirection that they're taking with Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, and how they're trying to close out this, multiverse saga. It seems like that's what they're really trying to do. And Dan RPK also, he did hint that Spider-Man 4 will most likely be released between Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars in July of 2026. So most likely they start shooting early next year, you guys. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Would you like Spider-Man 4 to be a much grounded story or another multiverse storyline? I was hoping to get an introduction to Miles Morales and having, Donald Glover as a Prowler return in some kind of way, because that's huge. But then there are also reports and rumors that Sony wants to do their own Miles Morales live action. I'm like, ooh, I don't know how I would. I don't know, because Sony right now with their Spider-Man-less villains, it's definitely hit or miss. But I'm not completely dogging out Sony, because Sony has still put out some great banger Spider-Man films. The Raimi trilogy, Amazing Spider-Man 1, Amazing Spider-Man 2 gets a lot of hate. I still really appreciate it. They get a lot of hate. And of course, the animated films. So still to this day, Sony has put out some fantastic, absolutely wonderful comic book films. They honestly, they really have. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens, especially with Daredevil Born Again. I thought they were going to lead into that idea and that concept of, Kingpin being the mayor. And now he's putting a hit on all these, vigilante superheroes. Like, how would that affect Spider-Man? Like, all of that would have been so interesting. And to see a Daredevil Spider-Man team up, are you kidding me? That would have been a massive hit, you guys. Massive hit. But jumping back into the whole multiverse thing, like, now they're going to go to, if Sony doesn't really plan to do their Miles Morales stuff, like, could they possibly introduce a Miles Morales who's already, established in a different universe, bringing back Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield? I don't need to see those two characters again in a solo Spider-Man film. The next time I want to see Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, I want to see them in Avengers Secret Wars. That's where I want to see them, and to conclude their story. But a Miles Morales, I feel like if you're going to introduce this character, you got to start from scratch. Honestly, you got to see him, with the spider bite and his Uncle Aaron. All of those things play a pivotal part to his character. You can't just jump into him being Spider-Man. I'm sorry, you can't do that. And I know they're, Marvel Studios isn't really big on the origins for Spider-Man anymore. Like, look how they introduced Spider-Man in the MCU. through, Civil War. They didn't introduce the whole spider bite and things like that. It was just talked about. Uncle Ben's death wasn't big. But I'm like, with Miles Morales, you have to do that. And, and a lot of fans want to see that because his character has never been introduced live action before. He's been teased. He's been mentioned in Spider-Man No Way Home, by Donald Glover's, the Prowler, I forgot his name, Aaron Davis. He's like, I got a nephew who lives here. Like, that's a big moment right there. People don't realize, like, that's huge. That was a Spider-Man Homecoming. So let's lean into that instead of dealing with a whole nother multiverse story. Like, the multiverse is cool. Deadpool and Wolverine was a massive hit. It was so much fun. But, the much smaller scale films for Spider-Man, I feel like hit differently. They honestly do. I mean, there's so much more emotion attached to those films. And I'm not saying Spider-Man No Way Home didn't have any emotion, because it did. And, seeing Aunt May die and seeing Peter deal with that, or, seeing all three Spider-Man interact with each other and tell their stories of their Uncle Ben's passing and their struggles and them not pulling their punches. Like, that hit. That was emotional. So, I don't know, it's interesting. A lot of fans are kind of one-sided on this. A lot of them want Spider-Man 4 not to be a multiverse film, but I believe in Marvel Studios. I enjoy, honestly, the entire Spider-Man trilogy. They're a lot of fun. Spider-Man No Way Home gets a lot of flack. Far From Home gets a lot of flack, but, I really enjoy those Spider-Man films. Now, granted, they're not my favorite Spider-Man films, but I still do think they're great entries to the MCU Spider-Man. But post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Honestly, I want to know where you guys... where you guys take on this whole Spider-Man 4 being a multiverse film. And like I said, they just introduced the concept to, like, the symbiote being in the MCU. So why not play off of that? Why not have the symbiote play off of him being so emotionally unstable? Like, the possibilities. And of course, he's going to don the whole black suit, in the MCU moving forward, in Avengers Secret Wars. You're going to get that iconic poster. It's going to happen, you guys. It's going to happen. And I'm glad that, Marvel Studios ended up getting the symbiote back into, this particular franchise. Because with Venom, what's the next one called? Venom, The Last Dance. With that ending, I think we need to reestablish what Venom could potentially be, moving forward in the MCU. Because, but then there's that whole report of how, Marvel MCU can't use anything that Sony has already done before. And I'm like, that sucks. Because now, we potentially can't see a Venom, or we can't see a Carnage in the MCU. And they're just right there. That's Spider-Man 5, Spider-Man 6, Spider-Man 7. So many great storylines to adapt. Tom Holland is going to be playing Spider-Man until he's 90. But push your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. And of course, thank you for taking time out of your day for watching Zero Productions. Peace.